Hi everyone, my name's Sam Burden and I'm here today to do my talk on how recording yourself can help you with public speaking. Within my talk, I'll give you an introduction to the recording challenge that I did last year, what happened during the recording challenge, tips for recording yourself, and a summary of my talk. So an introduction to the recording challenge. So for those of you who've been in the situation to myself, one of my top fears has been public speaking, and according to various websites, actually, public speaking is one of the biggest phobias out there. Apparently, 90% of people have a fear of public speaking. However, to contradict this, actually, the fear of public speaking, not get involved with it, actually impedes employment and promotion by about 10 to 15%, which is quite a shocking statistic. And I thought about this and I approached this to my coach. And I'd like to point out before then, I was getting involved with more public speaking because I thought I need to conquer this skill by doing nightly talks and also just doing mini talks within my organisation. However, I wanted to improve in terms of authenticity and understand a bit more about how I can improve my speaking skills in general, because I do speak quite fast. And I thought, okay, then is there a way that I can improve in a safe environment that can actually improve how I feel as a person, but also reflects the authenticity of myself going forward? And one option was to do more lightning talks and do more talks. However, I knew the fact that when doing these talks, I'd only have a window of about a month to every time to do it. And for myself, I wanted more frequency to understand how I can improve on a regular basis. But also I wanted to understand how I am as a public speaker. What do I look like? How do I sound? How can I be more engaging to an audience? And my coach suggested, why don't you record yourself? And this was only supposed to be a one-off recording. So just to, for example, I'm going to grab my phone here. Just say, hi, my name is Sam, and my favorite animal is a bulldog. And it was doing that, the purpose of that was just do every morning for about an hour, 5 minutes, just to see how I sound as a person and understand a bit more about what my common fears are when listening back to myself. And I suppose when listening back to yourself is more frightening than actually watching yourself, because it's the whole, oh, I sound like this. Why do I sound like that? And I decided to take that a bit further with this recording challenge. I thought, okay, then this is going to be a challenge. I can do this. So I decided to set myself a 30-day challenge to record myself. And I just want to give you a bit of context of what went on, a bit more detail in terms of context of the recording and how it helped me to become a better public speaker. So I focused on a 5-part challenge. So the purpose of the challenge itself was to divide it into 5 parts that related to problems I had with public speaking. So one problem was asking questions. How do I ask better questions to people? Not just in like a presentation context, but then also in a work context. How can I feel more confident asking questions, both as a passive listener and also as an active listener, in terms of engaging with people and making sure that I interact in a way that feels genuine and authentic. Another was to look at posture. So how I stood as a person, how do I emulate confidence when I'm doing it? I felt like recording is the best method of doing that, because you can see yourself in a recording in terms of saying, oh, I look like this is how I can improve. So that was the purpose of that. Another was to look at pace, so relating back to that speed. Am I talking fast or am I talking slower than usual? Is there any events that are causing it that might make that speed change? And then also just looking at self-affirmations. So there's 2 sections to the self-affirmations. One was to create an introduction to myself. This helped with, again, not just public speaking, but general confidence in how I approach people. And also affirmations to say, just to help build confidence. So within the challenge, it was a 30 minutes for 30 days. That included Saturday and Sunday, so that's quite a shocker. And I decided to do, it was 15 minutes doing that 5-part exercise, and then 15 minutes reviewing what I did the day before and reviewing how it went. Is there any improvements I could do the next day? And did I implement the improvements that I said about the day before? And the whole purpose of this was to build self-confidence. This recording yourself is one of the best ways to sort of feel more engaged with who you are as a person, actually reflect on how you present yourself to others. So with that in mind, I kind of wanted to give you yourself some tips for recording yourself. So here are the 5 top tips that I would like to give you. Theme what you want to improve on. So within my talk that I did, the 30-day challenge, when I was recording, I had the whole overarching theme was about self-confidence and building that authenticity when I do public speaking. However, my advice would be to do something more specific. So, for example, is it asking questions? Is it looking at the speed of how you talk? Is it how you want to emulate confidence within yourselves? Or is it to do with actually how you want to engage with your audience more, asking questions and just reflecting more about what they say? If you theme it, then you sort of have a structure in terms of what kind of subsections you want to ask that. So if one goes up with questions, you might ask a question that relates back to how you ask questions within a work context. It might be to do with look at questions for conversations. It might be to do with how you answer questions back to people. So have about 3 to 5 sort of subtopics within that area that you can improve on. Provide structure on what you want to learn. So this is in 2 parts. So providing structure is actually how you want to devise the actual speaking challenge, and also how it can help to improve the public speaking going forward. You might be somebody who works better at night and actually does recordings once you finish work, and then like, okay, I'm gonna do a recording challenge now because it's fresh on mind. I feel more awake. I can do this at this specific time. For myself, I did it in the morning because A, I was more refreshed, and B, I had more time. Make sure that you set that same sort of time during when you do the challenge, because if you have you can do it like within an hour when you've said you're going to do it the day before, but make sure you have a regular sort of schedule in terms of when you do it, because otherwise it's you sort of lose motivation to keep going forward otherwise. And also, I mean by structure is, I suppose, how you want to structure the actual speaking challenge going forward, how you want to structure it. Are you going to do it in one whole video, or are you going to do it in chunks of video? So the whole video is great because you just do one recording and you've only got to look at one video. However, it can be quite time consuming and can be exhausting. So chunking might be a better option. So doing 1 to 2 minutes of video and then critique it going forward. Number 3, keep the challenge small but manageable. So when you do your own recording, don't do what I did in terms of doing 30 minutes, because after 30 minutes, I haven't been able to sustain 30 minutes now. I can only do 10 minutes of recording each day now, because A, that's manageable, and B, I can still see progress going forward. And I've chunked down the actual what I would say in smaller chunks, so it takes smaller time. But it's all about doing a marathon, not a sprint, with this challenge. Don't be too critical on yourself. So when doing the recording challenge, when you first watch yourself, you might think, I sound like that. I look unconfident. I speak too fast. And with that in mind, if you keep doing that, you're going to get demotivated, and it actually affects, on a negative level, your public speaking more. So try and see this as an opportunity for a learning opportunity. If you think you see something wrong within your speech, just write it down and think, okay then, but figure out a way to offer constructive criticism to yourself. Make sure you have that positive element, thinking you're really well, but you spoke too fast on this bit, and this is a recommendation I say for tomorrow. And then it gives you a learning curve. You're continually learning, give yourself feedback in terms of how you can improve going forward as a public speaker. And lastly, make it measurable. Now, this is something I ignored during this process. So make it measurable helps in terms of understanding your learning experience during the process. And for myself, I thought of self-confidence, and I thought about it afterwards. How is measuring self-confidence? How can I measure it? Is it how happy I am? Is it looking at moods? Is it my speech? Is it looking at how many times I'm doing public speaking events going forward? It's all about having something quantitative or even qualitative to look back on in terms of saying, okay, then day one, I spoke too fast. So it might have been 2 minutes. By day 30, my speech slowed down and I was speaking on average for about 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Make sure you have something that can measure yourself and also give you something to be proud of going forward. So, summary of the challenge. It's been great for sort of doing public speaking practice. This is in a safe environment. It provides you with immediate feedback and improvements, and can help you going forward becoming a better public speaker. It helps you learn about self and perception. It understands where you think you're weak, what weaknesses are within public speaking, and provides an opportunity to give you a chance to improve that on a regular basis that you feel in a safe environment you feel comfortable in. And remember, when you do this challenge, learn to make small but digestible improvements, because that will make the biggest impact. It's not all, as I said, it's not about a marathon. It's not about doing a sprint. It's about doing a marathon. It's all about giving over incremental changes to your public speaking to make you feel like a better, confident speaker. So thank you very much. Hopefully I should see more of you guys doing these public speaking challenges by recording yourself on a daily basis. And hopefully by doing that, it'll give you more confidence to understand a bit more about how you sound as a public speaker, and also gives you a chance to improve on a day-to-day basis going forward to make sure that you become the best public speaker you can be. So here's my contact details. I've left my LinkedIn, website, and also I wrote a Medium article just after I did this challenge, just to give you a bit more insight in terms of the challenge itself and also the points I came across within this talk. So thank you very much for listening. Hopefully I've inspired you to do your own public speaking challenge, and I'll speak to you guys later. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to my LinkedIn or website. So thank you very much.